These are the Asics GT-2000 version 13 TR. So they're primarily used for road to trail running. We're going to break down the comfort, the fit, and the performance of these shoes so you have a better understanding of what their best uses are for. I'm James, I'm a foot and ankle specialist, and I've been providing advice to patients for over 10 years on footwear. So let's get started with the cushioning underfoot and what you're going to feel. So compared to the version 12, it's got a firmer cushioning, the FF Blast cushioning. So when you apply pressure to it, it gives you a bit more of a spring back. It's a harder end feel, a bit more responsive than what you got in the previous model, which was a bit softer and a bit more balanced. It's got some elements of stability to it. So it's got the Asics 3D guidance system, which comprises of these sidewalls on the inner and the outer aspect of the shoe around the heel. It's got a broad base of support underneath the foot that doesn't narrow too much in the midfoot, and it's got some sole flare, so where the sole comes out wider than where your foot sits in the shoe. So the wide base of support and the sole flare increases the contact with the ground, therefore making the shoe more stable. The sidewalls come up and cradle your heel and your midfoot to reduce pronation forces and keep your foot centered in the shoe throughout. And it's got a stiff heel counter which cradles your heel and your ankle joint to help control pronation forces when you initiate contact with the ground. Then underneath the shoe, you've got 2mm lugs that are relatively broad. So where they're really useful for is on wet terrain, so wet ground, wet gravel. They're not as helpful on muddy terrain or on technical trails. So they're really beneficial if you need a shoe that has moderate stability that you would like to transition to from on the ground to grass to mild trails that are wet, a little bit muddy, but don't need something that's too technical. Then on top, it's a true to size fit in terms of the length. It's got a normal width in the toe box and it comes in an extra wide version. So we had no problems with this, whereas in contrast to something like the Hoka Speedgoat 6, we find it a little bit too snug and we have to get a wider version. The normal fit of this was perfect. It's got a thin tongue on top that's gusseted and mild padding around the heel counter. Had a great lockdown, so no slippage, no issues when going downhill or changing direction. So if you're looking for a moderate stability shoe that you can transition from walking on normal flat ground to uneven ground, grass and wet surfaces, then the Asics GT-2000 TR is an excellent option for you. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you purchase the shoes through the links in the description, it helps fund the channel without affecting the price that you pay. If you simply found the video helpful, then just liking, sharing and subscribing to our channel really makes a big difference to us. Thanks for watching.